and action.
Welcome to the art of a play of the oh my god.
Okay.
This is a great start. Welcome to the art of the playlist,
Where
a
are you?
music podcast that brings you curated playlists and the stories that motivated them. I am the person that can't speak today, Robert LaFrance, and I'm here with my two dudes, Christian and Patty. What's up, guys?
Hey, I'm
How
glad
are
to
you?
see you're drinking your lunch today, Rob. Excellent.
Yeah, that was a rough start. You guys, did you ever notice how nobody ever remembers the second to last song of the night?
It's true.
Mhm.
It's almost just a lead up, right?
Yep.
And yeah, that's a good point.
People remember the last song of the night.
It's
And
the
that's
most
what we're going to
important.
talk about tonight. Last songs of the night, or as I
That's
like to call them, closers.
yep. The opening and the close. That's all they're going to remember.
Yep. Yep. How about you, Patty? Do you have a philosophy about your closer songs that you chose for, or your
Well,
last dance songs that you chose for today?
yes. So I took it more literally as last dance, literally dance, because in the late 70s, early 80s, and through the 80s, actually, when I was preteen, teen, middle school, high school, college, the last song of every school dance, church dance, party, whatever, was always what? Chris, do you know?
Led Zeppelin? Stairway to
Yes,
Heaven?
Stairway to
yes,
heaven.
Rob.
Oh,
Ding, ding,
jeez.
ding, 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 ding,
Oh,
ding. Rob wins. Rob
yes, he
wins.
does.
And
Rob's the winner.
and listen, I'm a Zeppelin fan. I think there's a time and a place for Zeppelin. I think it's awesome. But the last song of the night, the last dance, it's not danceable. It goes into that.
Oh,
It starts out with like flute recorder. It goes into that heavy whatever. And I suppose
and it's
if
too
you're just
long.
gonna, and it's super long. Exactly. So this is my protest list against Stairway to Heaven being the last song of the
I love
night.
that.
So all of these, in my opinion, are danceable and are more connected and romantic. That's the stuff I went to choose.
Nice, nice.
Mhm.
I went to, so I have a club DJ background, so the last dance of the song can either fit three categories. Number one is the responsible song, the one you play because the club owner wants you to play it. One is the one that's unforgettable that people will remember. And I chose one that I never quite got to play in my entire DJ career, but really wanted to. So when we go through my list, I'll go through those three categories. But I think when I looked at like philosophy of a last dance, it's like the message that you're sending people home with. Like they're gonna remember that last dance. They're not gonna remember the one before that or even like a half hour before. So what are the memory you're trying to instill in people as they leave the party, club, wedding, whatever?
And I
That's
think it
cool.
depends on the moment too, right? You kind of have to have some different variations ready because you don't know how that last 20 minutes of the night is really going to go and how you want to send them home. Do you want to send them home feeling all lovey-dovey, or do you want to send them home raring to go party? It's a
That's exactly right. That's how I thought
and
about it too. Mhm.
and I thought of this as almost a set of songs as well, not just an individual song. I would say my playlist, I would play as a set, 4 songs, boom, 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 like this, because I think it gives a nice mix of a little bit of everything. But again, you have to play it by ear. You don't know how the night's going.
The other point, and we've talked about this before, is it depends on the type of thing. Is it a club gig? Is it a party, a
100%.
family party? Is it a wedding? Is it a school dance, a college thing, fraternity party, whatever? Like the audience, the age, and the era all matter as well.
Absolutely. It's all part of the formula, right?
Hmm. For sure.
So who wants to go first? Tell us your songs.
Go ahead, Patty.
All right. So another thing that I did in deference to the audience is I picked a song from the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and the 2000s. And so I have 5 songs. Now, that being said, I realized we're 26 years, excuse me, into the 2000s now. So really, there should be a 2000 and zeros, a 2000 and teens, and a 2020s. But I still feel like it's just the 2000s in terms of a music genre. But it's not really fair to like the kids of your age, your kids' age, that are around 25 because they have these different eras of their life. But it's less
So true.
apparent to me. Right? Are you guys
No,
feel the same?
absolutely. That's
Yeah.
very true. Yeah, that's a great perspective. I hadn't
Yeah.
really thought of that, but it's true because to me, it's the same. It's once we hit 2000, it's all 2000s.
One thing. Yeah.
Where before, it's like there was a definite 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, but then you hit 2000 and we're of a certain age, we're just like, yeah, whatever. It's from the 2000s. And that's only 26-year gap. So,
Mm. Anyway, so my 60s song is a classic. I think it's super romantic. And I think it goes across all generations. And that is Can't Help Falling in Love. It's a song that was popularized by Elvis in the 60s. It's been covered 150,000 times. Another chart-topping version of it hit in the 80s by a band called UB40. But the version I chose to put on my playlist is by a female singer named Haley Reinhart.
Hmm.
I'll talk about her in a second, but I just want to let you know that as much of Elvis's music is, a lot of it is either taken or referenced or influenced by other music. And Can't Help Falling in Love is actually a song that came out in 1784 called Plaisir d'amour in France. And it was sung by a female artist, and I picked a female artist to do the representation. And Haley Reinhart, for those of you who don't know her, is an amazing singer, and she was one of the main singers in Scott Bradley's Postmodern Jukebox. Are you
oh,
guys familiar with
I
that?
love them. Yeah,
I
Yeah.
am
that's
not. I'm
so
not familiar with
interesting.
that.
Rob, you and Bernadette would love it.
Okay.
Scott Bradley's Postmodern Jukebox, they take contemporary songs like Nirvana, well, contemporary stuff, more modern songs, and they cover them like they're vintage.
It's very
So,
cool.
yeah, so they'll do like a doo-wop version of an Usher song, or they'll do like a ballad version of a Pearl Jam song. And they're all extremely talented Broadway caliber musicians and singers. So the
Mm.
harmonies are cool, the vibe is cool. A lot of it is very jump, jive, and wail swing kind of a vibe, right, Chris? Yeah.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So Haley Reinhart was one of the main singers. Oh, side note, Scott Bradley was roommates with a friend of mine, and he went to University of Hartford in Hartford,
Oh,
Connecticut. So he's a local boy who made big. And so check out Postmodern Jukebox and check out Haley Reinhart. Her stuff is really good. This version of Can't Help Falling in Love. Jeff and I actually saw her in concert 2 years ago, maybe, and it was so heartfelt. And it's not like I'm Jane Elvis. I appreciate him, but I don't choose to listen to him often. But this song, I think, is goes across all of it.
No, that's excellent. I'll definitely check
Thank
that
you.
out. I'm psyched to see the series. Sounds really cool.
Yeah, cool. Um, 1980s. I'm going to skip the 70s. So that's my 60s. It was actually recorded in 2015 by Haley Reinhart. Climax Blues Band, UK band, rock band, did a song in 1981 called I Love You. It's something that, Rob, I don't know, it's 70s soft rock vibe, even though it came out in the early 80s.
It's
But
not yacht rock, is it?
it would be on a yacht rock playlist. I will say yes.
Oh no. Okay.
But it's got a really pretty orchestration and arrangement of music, and it's a real heartfelt set of lyrics. So I thought that would also be nice for a closing song.
Mm-hmm.
My song from the 90s is an R&B soul tune from 1998, All My Life by Casey and JoJo.
oh wow.
I think of it as a Jodeci song. They used to be in the band Jodeci, but it's Casey and JoJo. And I just thought that was a cool 90s representation of R&B. That would be a nice closer. My 2000s song is Ed Sheeran, Perfect. It came
Yep.
out in 2017. pop ballad. Ed Sheeran's an amazing, prolific songwriter. He does beautiful lyrics. I think a lot of his stuff is very relatable across generations. And he actually released that song in three ways. He released it as himself, he released it in a duet with Beyonce, and he also released a symphonic version in a like handoff version with Andrea Bocelli.
Oh.
So, and it's in Italian and English. But I just
Interesting.
picked the original version for my playlist, but there are other variations on that theme out there that are also kind of interesting to listen to.
All this stuff could have been on our date night playlist too, it sounds like.
Definitely. They're definitely like lovely last dance, slow dance songs because I never got the good slow dance with Led Zeppelin.
And I was busy playing air guitar over it. Like, when they rock out that one part, I'm like, yeah, with air guitar. It doesn't make for a nice, slow dance with the person that you're actually.
No.
No offense to
No.
Robert Plant and
No,
all
no.
those dudes. They're
But we all
talented.
tried to make that song work. It was an awkward slow dance, and you're just like, this is terrible.
You're
We were
right.
already awkward.
It's true.
Did not help.
The last song I want to highlight is my 70s song, and it hit #1 in 18 countries when it came out. It's off the Arrival album from 1976.
If you say
ABBA's.
ABBA, I'm not. No,
It is
not ABBA.
ABBA's Dancing Queen. Absolutely. Dancing Queen. It's an international favorite.
It is an
It is a
international
great way. Here's the thing. I would have never thought of it as a closer, except my brother, Jimmy Pino Jr., is in a band called the Rum Runners, and at the end of their set, they often choose to play Dancing Queen by ABBA, and everyone is so psyched, and it gets everyone going, and everyone thinks, oh my God, the Rum Runners are amazing. They are amazing. They're fun, but that really like cinches it for them. I've seen it work so hardcore with all generations, all kinds of people. I just think it's not my tune per se, but I can see where it would work in this application. I saw it, so.
I love that. That's
Yeah,
great.
and I admit I've played that in nightclubs that were end of night kind of songs of a mainstream audience, and it works great. It's just I hear that immediately, that initial like drum beat and the lyrics that come in. I'm like, oh yeah, I can.
Come on, Rob, you can dance, you can jive.
Please no. Do I have to?
I know. Look, we should state here that all of us are a little bit jaded to the mainstream music stuff that you hear at every party and every wedding over and over and over again. I used to love the song Mustang Sally. Not so much anymore, like this kind of stuff, you when you're working in an industry where you're playing the same stuff over and over again, you do get a little weary. So
Yeah.
I understand, Rob. It wouldn't be
Yeah,
your
you get
choice.
jaded for sure. Yeah.
So that's my list.
Christian, what do you got?
Oh, all right. Well, that was a very thoughtful list.
Thanks, Chris.
I did 4 songs, and I started off again as we were talking about. I tried to mix it almost like a set, and again, it would depend on the environment and what's happening, and maybe have to change it up a little bit. But I started off with "At Last" by Etta James because I think it brings everybody kind of on the. I was thinking of a wedding or an anniversary, to be honest, right? And
Yeah.
it's an intimate song, gets everybody a nice slow dance going on the dance floor, and it could be the last, the last. It could be the last song, but it's not because from that slow dance, I'm going into "Sweet Caroline" by Neil Diamond because I want to go and build it back up before we go home, right? And that is a song. Well, my daughter's name is Caroline, so I'm going to play it at every gig. But I think everybody can relate to that song, and it really. I've never heard anybody say, "Oh my God, I hate that song." I wish you would turn that off. But it gets the room going again, and then I want to keep that vibe going. And again, thinking about the age group in that anniversary or wedding or whatever it is, I'm going into December 1963 by the Four Seasons. Same kind of vibe, right? Still moving, get it going. Everybody's smiling, having a good time. And I'm going to close it out with The Last Dance by Donna Summer because that was the last dance at our wedding. And it's just a great, amazing song, right? I mean, it just fills the room and it's just, it literally announces it's the end, right?
That's a
And I think
great
after that, you're going to go home. You're going to be dancing in the car all the way home. Sorry,
that's a
Patty, you were to
great
say something.
tune. Those are all real mainstream songs like we were
They
just
are
talking about.
mainstream.
Mhm.
I know, they are mainstream, but, I don't know, I was thinking about the crowd unity, celebration, and then a final blowout, just knock it out of the park, right?
Yeah.
So,
Ariana
those are my
Grande covered Last Dance by Donna Summer, so you should go out and check out
oh, I
that
will check
version of
that
it.
out.
Mhm.
Okay, that's
So
awesome.
obviously it's absorbed with a different generation with her putting it
Sure.
out there.
Yeah.
So
How about
And
you, Rob? What do you
I
got?
happen to be privileged to attend your wedding, and I agree from your wedding that Last Dance was the perfect song to end the wedding. So I have very fond memories of that. So even though I try to be a little more non-mainstream, that you have to play. It's a fantastic song, and it does
Yeah,
leave everybody really happy, and it's danceable. It's not like a slow dance. It's a kind of a disco vibe. So it works really well to end the end of the night. I
yeah,
love
and
that.
I
it's
will say
slow
at
at
our
points and
wedding
then upbeat. Go
yeah.
ahead.
No, no, finish, please.
Your wedding was great. I enjoyed dancing to that at the end of the night too, for sure.
But I had two of the best DJs in the world. I had John Truesdale and Pat Ryan as DJs. How could you go wrong?
Mm,
If they that's like 2 thumbs up right there. You
mhm.
Yeah,
can't go wrong.
for sure.
How about your list, Rob? What do you got going on?
Yeah, so I did three categories, like I said at the beginning: a responsible one, an unforgettable one, and one I didn't get to play. So I'll start with the most responsible one. And so just to set the scene, in the '90s, I DJ'd extensively in nightclubs, and probably my favorite gig ever was at the legendary Toad's Place in New Haven, which is primarily a concert venue, but they also did dance parties on Wednesday and Saturday night, and it's on the Yale campus, so there would be 1,000 kids, and it'd be crazy. It'd be packed in there, and at 1:55 a.m., because we timed it to the exact minute, um, we would play the last song of the night, and so I took over that night, that Saturday night DJ gig from John Thornburg, who's a listener of the podcast and a great DJ himself, who inherited from, again, our mentor, John Truesdale. So, John, actually, both Johns, I think, had very specific rules because on Saturday nights, this broadcast went out live on KC 101, like our commercial radio station. So they had one rule, which was you always had to end slow. Not because it was cool necessarily, but because it prevented fights in the club, right?
Oh my
So
God.
it was like important that so the bouncers would chill out and everybody would be calm at the end of the night, so they weren't fighting in the streets afterwards because it was so packed that everybody was right on top of each other. So at the back of my vinyl crate, because we were playing vinyl back then, I had like three or four Last Dance songs with, like, it was so compressed that the sleeves were rubbing together and they wore down from the years of repetition. I actually wanted to pull one out and show you, but I can't get access to my record crate right now because it's like buried in the basement somewhere. But I looked for it, but they were literally hard to pull out of the crates. Like they were so cramped in there, and you pulled them out, and it was wrecking the sleeves and everything. But the two songs that were my go-to were late '90s classic, well, not classic, but late '90s R&B love songs that would activate like those attraction chemicals rather than the fight or flight chemicals. So the two songs that were my go-to were Anytime by Brian McKnight, which is again a super nice slow R&B song to end the night, and then I Want to Know by Joe. Again, at 1:55 a.m., everything in my after a packed club all night long, I wanted as a DJ to inject more chaos into the night, but I needed to get a paycheck, right?
Yeah,
So
you gotta pull the emergency brake, slow things down.
so like nope. So yeah, that was the last songs we played at a mainstream night. And I really I would have preferred to close with something really like crazy and wild, like um a big sing-along song, like maybe from Bon
Mm.
Jovi, but we're not allowed to mention him on this podcast, so he's
Definitely not
banned.
Bon Jovi.
No, so definitely not Bon Jovi. But or even something like really kind of nasty, like Genuine's Pony would be fun. That would be fun to close the night. But I'd probably get in trouble for that as well. And my ultimate goal, and I did this more with my house music gigs, was do something completely left field, like "Tomorrow Never Knows" by the Beatles. That tune off of Revolver, the last song on the album,
Mm,
super
interesting.
trippy, loopy vibe, and just see what the reaction in the room was. But that wasn't the job. This was a mainstream gig. So you don't end the night for yourself. You have to think of the crowd.
It's true.
And even though
And the
sometimes you
paycheck.
want, and the paycheck, even though sometimes you want anarchy, you have to choose responsibility. So that's my responsible closer.
Very nice.
Neat.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to shift the tone a little bit. So I also did house music nights where we played nothing but house music and techno. So it was a very different crowd, very different music. The crowd is much more there for the music. So at this point, we're really trying with a last song, trying to chase a memory. So there was a couple songs that were my go-to at these house music nights. One was a song called Blackwater by Octave One. It's a 2000s era Detroit techno song, but it has strings and a catchy melody and a really soulful vocal that says, "Let your love grow, let the sun shine." So it's like a great way to end the night on a great feeling. But I also did the gig with my friend Nate Sherwood, and we hosted this all house music night as the Connecticut House Mob. That was our go-to when we tag team for DJing the night. And for the last song, we were having fun, and we always wanted to end in a really fun way that was memorable. There was a song called, or is a song from 1996 called "House Is a Feeling," which I know, Christian, you like house music a little bit,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you probably know that sample. It's been used a ton of time, but it was a band called Sunday School from 1996. So it's one of the early house songs, if you will, and it has these piano chords that you could play the song, play the beats and everything, and then when the piano chords hit, you could loop them. And so we would loop them for the very last song, and then we'd start to lower the volume, like the crowd thinks that we're going to end. And then as soon as like they were starting to thin out, we would just bam, slam right back into the beat. Big, huge reaction, hands in the air. People thought it was over, but now it's not. So they're back into the mix. And so we would do that over and over again, usually until the owner yelled at us. But those looping piano chords created a real earworm for people. I can hear them in my head as we're going through this podcast now, but it's really memorable. So that's really cool, and it creates that earworm and people humming in the hallway. Like we wanted people to leave humming those chords as they walked out of the club, which would be really cool. And when I thought about that, and I didn't piece this together until the episode that we're doing here, but in 1983, or maybe it was 1984, I went to see U2 live at the New Haven Coliseum.
Wow. Very
Nice.
cool.
And and back then there was a song off of their War album called 40. It was I think the last song on the album, and they ended the concerts with it, and the lyrics was "How long to sing this song? How
Oh,
long to
yeah.
sing this
I know that
song?"
tune. Sure.
So I don't know if this happened at all of their concerts, but in New Haven Coliseum, I don't know, 10,000 people or something. As they closed that song, they walked off one at a time as a band, and the last one to walk off was Bono, and he was singing the song a
Mm,
cappella as he walked off the stage,
mm,
and then asked us to continue singing it after he left.
mm.
So the whole crowd is singing that as the lights come on, walking out of through the corridors of New Haven Coliseum into the parking garage. It was just a completely unforgettable experience. So as I was thinking about this episode, I'm like, you know what? That's I think why I want to drive this like earworm that's going to stay with people till the end. So it would kind of echo in their minds. And if people walk out singing the song that you played last, as a DJ, you've won clearly.
That's
That's
really
great.
powerful.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a cool memory, Rob. I've seen you 2 several times in concert, and I will say that they always have an interesting, powerful production, and, it does bring the crowd in such a beautiful way. Bono's really good at they're all really good at, but Bono has that compelling personality, so
Yeah, he's got that stadium vibe, and like he's just fantastic. So he's a great front man. I mean, one of the best ever to do it.
mm,
Uh,
that's
so
cool.
my last song is really aspirational because I never got to play it. So there's a track that I found. There's a DJ music site to download music called Beatport, and a few years ago there was a new genre called Afrobeat or Afro House that was really big, and I was browsing that section on Beatport just like you would in a record store looking through music, and I came across this one song that I found really good. Like I thought it was interesting. I downloaded it and then I played it in my studio. And I think it was a night, like a Friday night or something. I didn't have anything going on, so I just did a DJ set in my studio for myself and maybe my cat. Um, but we were playing. I was playing it really loud on proper speakers, and it really hit me emotionally because the lyrics of the song. It's a spoken word vocal that describes uh, the deepest, most passionate love relationship you could have. And there's these like stirring emotional chords that are playing under it. And there's a line that really hit me hard, which was I'm gonna just say it slow so I get it right. Love me like my heart holds the antidote to every ailment in your soul.
Hmm.
Like, it was
Okay.
really, really, and that I was like, I get chills just thinking about it now. Like it was so, it reminded me exactly of my wife. It wasn't a club lyric. It was something that you'd hear like at a sunrise set in Ibiza. And I always wanted to play Ibiza. So I'm like, that if I ever play Ibiza, that is the song that I'm gonna play last because that's the most amazing lyric. And it made me think of my wife. I played it for her and she thought it was beautiful. And so I realized even though I never got that Ibiza gig, that would be the closer that really represents my personality for that. But it never was to be. But that's what I would play if I ever got that opportunity.
I
Very
love that
nice.
for you. That's so nice. I think, I don't wanna speak for Christian, but Rob and I are both writers, so words matter a lot in some of these tunes, and they really hit you in a big way. Christian, do you connect with the lyrics or the music or
Yeah, absolutely. It depends on the song, right? But yeah, a lot of that for sure. I I think you guys have done a great job explaining your songs. I think it was really good today.
So let's ask the listeners. I'm curious, what songs would you guys close out? What song ends the night for you guys? What message does it leave behind? And tell us, message us, drop it in the comments, whatever. We'd love to build a whole playlist of closers together. And by the way, this is probably one of the unique playlists that we put together because we didn't have separate playlists, all three of us, because there was only so many closers you could have. You can have a whole playlist of 40 closers. So we all did a last dance playlist. All three of us collaborated on one playlist, and we're happy to add your songs to it. So let us know what you want to hear.
that would be great. And by the way,
Bring it on.
I think I win this week because I put a song on from 1784, by the way.
I'll give you the
Okay,
win.
Patty, we'll give you the win this, like, as long as it doesn't include Bon Jovi, you're fine.
Oh, perfect. No Bon Jovi.
All right, folks, that's the art of the playlist. Thanks for listening.
All right. Thanks,
Thanks.
everybody. Bye now.
Bye now.